Hello everybody. Welcome to another AI-powered live stream. We are here today to talk about the AI-powered virtual assistant, and we have a slightly unusual time of day again for this live stream because we are here at 3 p.m. UK time, which is a lot earlier in the day than they normally are. There's also a little bit of chaos going on at Casa del Stewart, and there is a little bit more noise than normal. So hopefully it will be okay, but if we are momentarily interrupted by a drilling noise, then I apologize in advance. So we're going to dive into all things AI virtual assistants in this session. We're going to be thinking through how you can use AI in your virtual assistant services. If you are, an agency providing virtual assistant services, this is really just going to help you to think through how we can maybe streamline some of those processes that you are doing for your clients and ultimately be able to deliver a much higher quality service for the sort of same amount of time and energy as you have been putting in so far. So I'm going to do what I had been doing for our previous sessions, which is create a Google document, create a Google document, which you will then have access to after our session is complete, and you can watch it. You can check out the document on the replay page. But I am going to grab that up. So if you are joining, Cindy's here. Hey, Cindy. Do let me know in the chat if you have a virtual assistant, if you are a virtual assistant, if you have an agency of virtual assistants. But do let me know in the chat and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about your business because you never know who is going to be in the chat alongside you or watching the replay. So do introduce yourself in the comments, and then we are going to I'm just looking for my notes from the other day, which had the positioning piece in for VAs, because I forgot about that, and I'm just going to add that into the document as well, so it's all in one place. Here we go. So we looked at this briefly on, I'm just going to see if I have do I have a drink handy? I don't think I do. It's got a little bit of Coke left from my daytime caffeine buzz in the middle of the day. We might need a little water break because my voice is going today. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure that we have the notes that we looked at on Monday evening. Hey, Jacqueline, it's good to you. Good to see you here. And we are going to do a little screen present. Here we go. So, excuse me. Okay, so this is the document. We did look at these. So my other document was in American English. This document is in UK English. I'm just going to correct that up now. So the AI-powered virtual assistant. This is the same sort of format and structure as we have looked at in our previous couple of sessions as well. And what I wanted to chat through today is obviously how we can use AI as part of our processes, but particularly with the space of virtual assistants, we want to be very clear that there are different types of virtual assistant. And at the moment, we're focusing on marketing magic demos. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about the sort of content and technical side of things. But in terms of the application for AI, things like, administration and community management as well are all things where AI can lend a helping hand and just really add a lot of value. So we're going to be talking a bit about that as well. And then we will be looking at marketing magic as far as some of the specific tasks are concerned. So, yeah, let's dive in. So administrative virtual assistants, this might be, VAs who are focusing on inboxing management, on scheduling, on customer service from the place of the inbox, and for things like calendar management as well. Anytime we are looking at customer facing community or customer support, what we can be doing is creating swipe copy, answering FAQs, all of those things, and creating systems around that. So having a sort of AI process for creating templated responses that you can base your replies to customers on that cover, key things, is one example of how you can use AI to support in this area. There are also a lot of and I talked about this on Monday a little bit as well, but there are lots of different tools that are coming out now that help with calendar management that also use AI. So things like Motion. I have not personally used Motion. Lucy has, and at some point, if Lucy is around, it might be worth asking her how she got on with it. But Motion uses AI, I believe, to optimize calendars for work time, and is one of those tools that can really help with efficiency. So the thing that I would recommend to you if you are a virtual assistant is starting to look at how tools like Motion, tools like Marketing Magic can be integrated to make your workflows more efficient, because your clients will ultimately be wanting to improve their efficiency, and AI is a way of doing that. So if you are really understanding how AI can be used as a tool in the provision of your services, it isn't undermining you or removing the sort of available time for you to work. Your time might be optimized, and you might be doing other things in that. But I said this to my I said this to my own VAs a few years ago, which was that if you finish a project quickly, it doesn't mean there are no more projects, because healthy, growing businesses always have more work to be done. There are always things that can be done. So you're not doing yourself out of a job to make things work more efficiently. You are adding value that ultimately means that you will be able to charge more for your time. That's a conversation for another time, just in terms of what it looks like to have value taken into consideration when you are working as a service provider, but on an ongoing basis. But you have got the opportunity to position yourself as somebody who uses the tools that are available to provide the most efficient service for your client, which ultimately builds trust and allows you to work on other things once those projects have been completed. If we are concerned about things, it's the difference between having a bit of a scarcity mindset of like, and I'm, loath to use that term, but the idea of like a scarcity mindset, where it's like, oh, we must hire someone for cheaper, or we must do this, get this done really quickly. It comes from a place of assuming that your business isn't going to grow. But ultimately, when businesses are growing and they are serving their clients well, and you are enabling that to happen, you do become not indispensable, because I don't believe personally that anybody is indispensable, including like the business owner themselves, but you do position yourself as a highly valuable member of the team, and you are, able to contribute to ultimately the business continuing to grow, and therefore more work being available. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's my reflection as a business owner who has worked with VAs, but also as someone who's worked in other people's businesses as, a marketing person, but ultimately in the same sort of service provision as a VA provides. So administrative, marketing, so social media, copywriting, website updates, funnel building, all of the things that an online business needs. So whether it's creating blog posts, emails, but doing marketing graphics. I haven't included design in this in terms of creative, because we're focusing more on text-based generative AI in the demo. And if you want to hear me talk about why I don't use visual generative AI, you can check out my session from yesterday. But marketing, technical includes, things like funnel building and tech stack integrations and setup, website management. All of these things can include launches and supporting clients through launches. Community management, so community posts and engagement, encouraging people to really become integrated in the community, being responsible for customer success and supporting people along their success path, and client management. So what does it look like to effectively manage the sort of projects that you're working on, but through the sort of client facing side of things. And then content repurposing, podcast editing, YouTube video editing and uploads, and copywriting, more focused on content. Some of that, it might be more of a focus on audio content or video content. But ultimately, those are things that you can package up and sell as a service. They're things that clients are interested in because they are, anything marketing focused and sales focused is a money-making endeavor. So if you're able to support clients in those areas, it's a really easy win. Whereas administrative support, sometimes feels like a luxury for depending on who your client is. So we're going to be talking more about the sort of marketing, technical, community management, and content repurposing and creation side of things as we look at the tools that you could use to help you in these areas. But we also have these, this is what I was getting when I was delayed sharing my screen at the start of the session, but areas that AI can help and the unique value of a human. These are some commercial positioning points that just look at the difference between integrating AI into your business processes and also then differentiating your own value as a human. Because AI virtual assistants are almost inevitably going to be thought up and built by somebody at some point. We already have a degree of that with things like chatbots, which I've talked about previously. And there are a lot of like process-based things that we can automate. And that might feel a little bit scary if what you're offering right now is the process-based thing. But what we want to understand is that as we integrate AI into our services and we use it in a way that is transparent and commercially valuable to our clients, that itself is a value add. And so as we move forward, work is going to change. Your role is going to change. The types of things that take you hours are potentially going to change. Not that you are substantively going to be doing something completely unrelated to what you're doing now, but you are going to be spending less time on some things and more time on other things. And so just feeling really comfortable with that and how you're communicating that to your clients is something that you can be practicing now, so that in the next couple of years, when these conversations become a lot more commonplace, you are prepared for it. So areas that AI can help, quickly provide information, execute commands, and you can see that in some of the different tools that have become available. There's, tools like Searchy, where you can search all of the videos and, things like that, that allow you to provide information to your end customers as well. But knowledge bases are also using AI to find information quickly and present information quickly. Automating routine tasks. So there are lots of different things that could come under, but one example is repurposing content, right? I talk about that a lot because it is something that is takes more time. Making processes more efficient, including data management, so looking at areas for streamlining and improving things, answering general inquiries or FAQs. We go back to chatbots there with the customer service side of things. Transcriptions, simple calculations and conversions, managing basic financial records and reports, and providing language translation for simple phrases. Anytime you're doing translation work, it is always a good idea to have an actual person read through that, because I've had a conversation with someone this week about the fact that some of the Spanish that comes out of OpenAI is not necessarily how people would talk if they were, and it's not as listening as well to things like tone of voice commands and things like that. So it is always a good idea to make sure that you've got someone who is as close to a native speaker as possible to double check translation. If you're providing that as part of your, if you've got a course and you're like, I'm going to, translate this into Spanish, then you want to just make sure that you've got somebody to double check that over for you. So the unique value of a human, I did talk about this on Monday. So if you're at Monday's session, then I apologize if this is repetitive, but we are covering different angles as we go through the rest of the session. Providing personalized and empathetic approaches that AI lacks and cannot replicate. So this is something that may or may not be a value factor for your clients. And I will be completely transparent with you there that I know for a fact there are people who would choose a horrible chatbot for their customer service over paying somebody, £25 an hour or more, $35 an hour or whatever, to do that. You are going to be faced with people like that. And that is just simply because the work that is done at a relational level isn't valued by all business owners. And just being really comfortable with how what you do contributes to the successful, profitable bottom line of a business is going to be really helpful for you when you're having those conversations, if you even want to push it with someone. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I was, and I, again, I've said no to projects because I didn't like the person, even when I needed the money. And there is a question of, do you want to be working with people who think that you can be replaced by a chatbot when chatbots are so annoying? So you can either prepare to have that conversation and say, I understand that you're ultimately looking to make things optimal. Here are some ways that we can, build in a system where some of this is dealt with by AI, but ultimately you need to have somebody who is a competent, empathetic person to be involved in this process. Otherwise, you're going to end up creating a huge amount of damage to your brand because customers are getting incredibly frustrated and there isn't somebody that is available and present. And ultimately, people want there to be people for them to be able to talk to. So thinking about that from a positioning perspective, I do think that is, an argument that is going to come up when you're having discovery calls or when people are thinking about what can be replaced. And I talked about this the other day. That I had a client who replaced me with somebody who charged like a third of what I was charging, and the person deleted their website during a launch, and I ended up going in and fixing it because, ultimately there's a reason that being an expert, and whether you're, whatever you're an expert in terms of your VA focus, there's a reason that your presence is valuable to a company, to an organization. And if they don't know that now, they will learn that through their own, overly ambitious goals when it comes to reducing their salary outputs. Understanding and responding to nuanced emotional cues and providing personalized advice based on intuition or experience. That really comes into the community management side of things in particular. Holding space for people and holding energy for people is a really big part of what makes your customer support and community management and customer service really valuable and impactful and successful for your customers, but also in terms of positioning the brand. And I know that because I have people messaging me all the time to tell me how great Lucy is, how great Rachel is, how helpful Ali is. And, that from a team perspective, having people who genuinely care has a really big impact on how people feel when they engage with your business and your brand. And if you can provide that for an organization or a company, that is really doing a lot of work for their overall position, for their how people perceive their brand, etc. Making ethical judgments or decisions for course of action or communication. So AI can automate some cognitive decision-making processes, but ultimately, if there is a situation where there is no clear answer, or it hasn't happened before, or it doesn't happen very often, AI is not going to be very helpful at all, and it, if anything, might be really roundly unhelpful. So when it comes to ownership of things, your ability to provide contextual responses, answers, and support to people is something that cannot be replicated by AI, because AI works in response to a pattern of behavior or a set decision or a process that you have created for it to know how to behave in that situation. Building relationships, adapting to complex situations, so launches, right? And lots of VAs help with launch management. Lucy helps me with my launches. Lucy doesn't help me with them. She basically, they wouldn't run without her. But Lucy, is there managing, different inquiries that are coming in and that allow me to be more in my creative energy, more in the development and product side of things, without needing to be concerned that there is stuff that I should be or need to be pulled into over in that side of things. So having people take ownership of complex situations and make good quality decisions in the face of complexity and unexpected situations or crises is a really incredible part of working as a team, and an opportunity for you to be invaluable as far as your business is concerned. Providing tailored support based on a knowledge of your of a customer's personal history, assessing underlying intentions behind ambiguous requests. So this is one, and I'm going to use Marketing Magic as an example with this, but when we have customers using Marketing Magic, they will use it and then they will ask us questions based on their experience of the product so far, right? But sometimes that is, it's hard to pull together exactly what they mean, because they're describing it as far as their experience so far is concerned. And we're hearing it from a place of being aware of all the complexity of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of room for misinterpretation and for us to not necessarily be able to answer the question exactly right the first time. And so when someone comes to you with a question, it's not a case of like, this is the answer to that. It's a case of, oh, I think what you mean by this is this, and here's the answer to that. And there is a little bit of interpretation that is needed, as well as the fact that when you are talking to people in the online space, you're often doing this in writing. And for many, many different reasons, writing is more difficult for a lot of people. Tone doesn't come across. English as a second language means that, some of my WhatsApp messages with my dad are just there's a lot of interpretation, let's put it that way, of what is maybe meant, because the way that things are written just varies hugely. So when you're thinking about that idea of ambiguous requests, it's not a negative thing, but it's because when people come into your audience, they are on their own journey, and your business is responsible for meeting them at that point and guiding them the rest of the way. And if you don't have structures and systems and people in your business who can effectively do that, it will ultimately cause a lot of damage to your business, because your customers won't be having a great experience. And people talk. So but you want that to be something that is a real focus. So as far as being a VA is concerned, this is just giving you some kind of language around the business value of being somebody who knows what is going on in the administrative and marketing and communication side of things, anything that's customer facing, because a lot of business owners are getting VAs in for that stuff. And we're going to talk about the technical stuff in a second. Encouraging and motivating customers and clients in a personalized way. And so then there's a few different examples here of the qualities and skills that you can bring into a business as a virtual assistant that are going to be timeless when it comes to AI. Being empathetic and understanding and supportive, being adaptable and flexible around decision making, and being able to contribute to the decision making process by taking ownership of your systems and processes, giving that sort of personalized connection to both your client and to what they're needing right now, but also to the customers and the clients within your client's business. creative and innovative thinking, ability to relate to human experience and culture. You're seeing a common theme if you've been along to a few of these, because ultimately what we are able to do is automate some stuff so that we have more time to be relational and more time to really make sure that we have the presence and resources to provide the support and creativity that is needed in other areas of the business. That doesn't happen a lot when you are under crunch and there's constantly things going on and you're chasing your tail a little bit. So these are focused more on the sort of supportive and community-based. It's an assumption that you are client-facing as a virtual assistant. As far as the more technical specifics are concerned, I would encourage you to come along to watch the replay from yesterday's copywriter one and get the resources from that. We also have got one coming up for web design and SEO, which will include some elements that, if you're a technical virtual assistant, will be relevant to you as well. So I would encourage you to come along to that one and, see the positioning from that perspective. As far as things like outcomes are concerned, this is me copying my document from yesterday. So let's remove that for now. We are going to focus on some of these outcomes here for today's session, and we are going to use Marketing Magic to do this, obviously, but let me just double check where I'm logged in here first and pull over here. So again, if you do not have a Marketing Magic account yet, you can get your 7-day free trial by clicking the purple button there. We're going to get logged in. And I don't know if you can see that, but there we go. Let me double check. Yes. Shelby, I have a question about one-off projects. As a VA, if I was just creating a website for a client and that's it, can I use Marketing Magic to aid them in that website and then remove their brand after? Yes, if you've got a commercial license, you can add them in, do the website project, and then remove them. Ali, you are the cutest. I love you so much. You are an icon. So containing the idea cats is what I like to request of my VAs. I love that one. Awesome. Jane of all trades are some of my superpowers. And that's on having a brain that works well in creative chaos. Okay, so we are going to look at some of these examples, and I am going to do some stuff in real time that kind of gives examples of these. There are a few things that we've touched on previously. I'm very aware of repeating myself, but obviously I'm repeating myself within the context of talking about virtual assistant type work now. So bear with me if you've seen some of the tools before. But administrative, I want to show you something fun that you might not have thought to use Marketing Magic for yet. So if we go over to Marketing Magic and we open up Product Magic, and also, just to be super clear, if you have a regular license, you have access to all of the tools that we're talking about. Marketing Magic is available for you in its entirety. The commercial license is so that you can work with it with client work in particular. So you can use all the same tools. The main difference is that we do have additional support calls in place for our commercial users. And we also have a bespoke onboarding process to make sure that everyone is set up with everything that they need. So if you're watching this and you are not a commercial client facing service provider, these tools are things that you can use for your own business when you log into your account. So we're going to go to Product Magic, and we've got Product Freestyle, but we can also go to Freestyle here and find it that way as well. So hey, Renexia, SEO in a weekend. Let's say I have a customer who has come and said, will this be suitable for me as a will this be suitable for me if I only have 10 products in my e-commerce store? Okay, so write a customer service answer to the question, will this be relevant for me if I only have 10 products in my Shopify store? I'm just going to put single quotes there, and then we're going to hit submit. So using product freestyle, you can create specific draft copy with the brand's tone of voice for answering customer queries. So this is really great for creating swipe copy, obviously, but it also can be used for just drafting, quick and easy responses that are in the brand's tone of voice without needing to write everything from scratch. So yes, absolutely. SEO in a weekend is relevant for your Shopify store, even if you only have 10 products. Our course is designed to help small and creative business owners like yourself optimize their websites for increased traffic, organic visibility and traffic. Whether you have 10 products or 100, the principles and strategies we teach can be applied to any size of online store. So don't worry about the number of products you have. We've got you covered. So that's just something that I'm just going to have to put my phone on silent for whatever reason. I'm getting calls today. So with things like customer support and service provision, especially if you're in the middle of a launch, using product freestyle to draft specific samples and template copy for getting back to people via the sort of chat or inbox is a really great use. Other things that you can do with freestyle would be to go here and you've got, let's say, I'm just trying to think of some examples here. Draft, write a template, write a response to an inquiry for guest posting on for being a guest on my podcast, to say no thank you, we don't accept pictures. And I have purposely written that in the most chaotic way ever. No can do, my friend. This is hilarious. Write a polite email response. Okay, so that one would be good for a little Instagram DM, but now we've asked it to write an email, so there we go. So this is the kind of thing that you could do, and you could, yes, might be using things like ChatGPT for this, but the point is that you can pull the brand context and tone of voice and everything. So when you're drafting responses, you are able to enter what you need and then go from there. So that's an example of that. So I got distracted by my phone ringing and by the drilling downstairs. So this has been a little bit of a spiral for me. But what I am planning to add in is a template email tool itself. So you can just put in the email and get a generated response to that email with your brand's tone of voice. That has been on my to-do list for a little while. And that is something that if you have a commercial license, if you have a Marketing Magic account, you will get access to. So that is another example of something that would be relevant to you if you're doing this kind of customer service and calendar management. So we're going to put creating template responses and also drafting one-off responses to difficult questions or awkward questions. So I'll link the tools in for that. So now marketing, right? We've got social media, copywriting, website updates. I want that just for me. I will absolutely be building it because it's been on my to-do list, but it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, that's a fun idea. And then it's not been a major urgent thing. So as soon as the tone of voice upgrade has been done, I might do that as a little palette cleanser before I dive into the next thing. Awesome. So that is something that, again, helpful when it comes to responding to things regardless of what your role is. But when you're, doing community management or, responding to DMs on Facebook, having the ability to draft things that are in an approved tone of voice already just means that you've got fewer edits and all that good stuff. Especially if you're managing the tone of voice for like multiple clients and you're kind of writing things for different clients, it's a really nice way to be able to keep their tone of voice on hand without you having to do mental context switching every time you're creating a new piece of content or writing a new email from scratch. So marketing, social media, copywriting, website updates, and funnel building. does what it says on the tin, right? There's so many tools in here that are specifically for that. So I'm not going to dwell on this too much. But for things like, funnel building, drafting out the copy for a funnel, when you're working as a VA in businesses where there is marketing in place, especially if that business has, it might be, and Lucy and I can both talk about this really from past experiences, but you can be in a team where you've got really busy launches happening, and you've gone in as a for 3 months to provide support on a specific launch, and there isn't necessarily anyone apart from you to do everything. The business owner hasn't hired a copywriter because there isn't the budget for that, and you're kind of managing the technical side as well as the copy side, and you're doing the best that you can with the resources and the time that you have available, but there are not very many resources. And so when it comes to providing support for clients who are in a more bootstrapping situation, the ability to create the sort of basic structure of a funnel from a copy perspective gives a starting point for you to be able to edit and then give to your client. It isn't going to be the same as working with a copywriter for all of your copy assets and messaging and angles for a wider campaign. But the point is that you're often working with people when they are launching something for the first time, or their business is just small and they it's too small for there to be an extra 5k in the budget to have a copywriter come on board for the team as well. So the funnel building side of things, you can create different types of funnels obviously as well. So you can create a evergreen product funnel with the sales page and an upsell checkout page and bump, so you can do the whole thing with that. You can create a lead magnet funnel with Lead Magic. You can set up the lead magnet funnel and add a tripwire sales page onto that lead funnel. So if you're somebody who provides funnel building VA services, this is a really helpful tool for getting the ideation done without needing to be in somebody else's you're not a full-time copywriter, you're a virtual assistant. You don't want to have to spend 12 hours drafting everything from scratch just because your client doesn't have a copywriter in the budget. So lead magnet funnels, and then also digital shop funnels as well, if you're wanting to create a shorter sales page and build in some other things. So funnel building, super handy for that. What else was on my list here? Social media, website updates. So website magic, this is coming with the tone of voice update, but we've got website service pages and website landing pages, FAQs and contact pages coming. So all of those are things that are included in your Marketing Magic account, and it gives you the sort of step-by-step so that you can draft that copy. And then when you're making website updates, you've just got the page design to do with the with your client's website template. So this is very similar. These are both very similar in format to the ones that are coming for services and landing pages. There's FAQs, service pages, landing pages, FAQs, contact pages, speaker pages, blog category pages, are all part of the website magic update that is coming soon as well. So as far as that is concerned, obviously there's copy there, but you also have got the blog post tools for creating strategic blog posts, and the SEO title and descriptions. So if we go to SEO Magic, there's a whole load of things here. So you could do keyword research for let's create some keywords and see this in real time. My chair is squeaky as well. This is going to go down in history as the most chaotic live stream that I've done maybe ever. My squeaky chair, there's vacuuming, there's drilling, there's so much noise going on here. It is a miracle that I'm still even adjacent to the topic, let alone on topic. So problem keywords: how to improve website visibility, increase organic traffic to my website, SEO strategies for e-commerce businesses, beginner's guide to SEO for Shopify stores. So there's a whole load of suggestions there for long tail keywords that would be relevant to this product and that could be used for blog posts, for all kinds of different things. So as far as website updates are concerned, those are different tools that can help with that, and the funnel building we touched on as well. Technical, similar situation really. Similar tools that are going to be helpful there, website magic, and then the SEO piece as well. The keyword research tool is what I typically do is I'll generate a whole load of keyword ideas from AI. So I'll use the keyword research tool. If I'm doing a launch for a particular product, I will use the product based one. If I'm wanting to get general ideas, then this content ideas tool, I love this so much. It's so underrated. You can create keyword ideas and get subtopics and FAQs. The FAQs are also a really good starting point for creating general FAQs for responding to people's inquiries for things like launches. If you're launching, let's say I'm launching a marketing automation course, right? These are questions that I might want to think about as I'm creating copy for the, the launch, and also for answering people's questions in the inbox. So keyword ideas, and I'll just take the list of keyword ideas and then I'll use something like keywords everywhere to double check the volume and see if there's any volume behind them. But you don't need to worry so much about volume for keyword research now, because searches are becoming so nuanced and niche that you might only get 5 or 10 searches a month for a keyword. But because of the way Google's machine learning has been working for a number of years and how they're continuing to improve it, the relevancy and topic relevancy is still picked up, even if you're not using exact match keywords. So you can still optimize for the most relevant thing for the web page and know that you'll get traffic from other search queries as well. But this is just a good way to stay really targeted, to make sure that each of the pages on your website is only answering the one problem, and you're not trying to cover, all of the things, like all of the different subtopics, say, about marketing automation on one page. Like, you don't want to be optimizing for every single bit of marketing automation in order for you to rank for something. You can stay focused and then create a separate blog post for another question or another angle of talking about it. So that is to show you the website the keyword tools in both SEO magic and content magic. Super helpful. Let's go to I'll add the bullet points in and the links once we're done, because apparently it's one step too far for my brain today. So funnel building, tech stack setup, and website management. The other thing that you can use ChatGPT for, if you're not using it for this already, is asking it questions about the tech that you're using. So you're not having to put any information into it about your client. You can just say, explain how to set up a 14-day automation in ActiveCampaign. Explain why ActiveCampaign has not sent my automation. And because it has had an update in 2023, you can get quite up-to-date information about troubleshooting specific tech. So that's a really fun use case. And it can be super helpful and save you a whole lot of time and headaches. Community management, community post and engagement, customer success, client management. So let's have a little look at this and see what we can do here. And repurposing then is going to come into this a little bit as well. So let's take marketing magic and see if I've got it set up as a tool. I don't know if I have. So let's see. I do. Okay. We'll see how it goes, because I haven't updated it since last year. But let's say that we want to create some community posts for Marketing Magic. There are a couple of ways that we could do this. And we are going to use Freestyle, and we're going to, I clicked the wrong one. We're going to go to Product Freestyle, and we're going to select Marketing Magic. We're going to say, give me 10 community engagement post ideas for the customers of this product. I'm going to hit submit and then let it have a little think about it. And then we're going to copy and paste whatever it says, as long as what it says is relatively adjacent to what we want. Okay, so there we go. So here are so many emojis at all times. We're going to copy and paste, and I'm going to now go to social media freestyle, and I'm going to take one of these examples. And let's see what it does here, because it might actually be easier to do this in Product Magic. But if we do the social freestyle one, this is show your favorite marketing magic feature and how it's helped your business grow. That has made all kinds of stuff up. So let's say we're going to go back to the Product Magic tools here because it's got marketing magic in it. So we're going to write a community engagement post for customers of this product on, and then we're just going to do this and hit submit. So this is a little draft then of that social post, so you can just kind of see the workflow there. You can get ideas and also draft social posts for specific use cases within Product Freestyle. This is going to keep it on point for your product, so just using it for that. I wanted to try out the social one just to see what it would do, but making sure that you do it in Product Freestyle will keep it relevant to the product information itself as well. So creating community engagement posts that way, you can do that. You can also go again back to the content ideas and use the FAQs section to get some different ideas for what to talk about and ask about and think through in that way. The other community engagement posts, the other community engagement tools that are going to be helpful are things like the customer journey. And for this, let's go to purchase and let's generate all, seeing as we're here. And I'm going to look at the chat while we're done. Yeah, the freestyle tools are really handy for doing ad hoc things, but for the product one in particular, anytime you're thinking through, getting back to people and explaining things in a bit more detail is a really, really handy one. Okay, so this is people who are at the purchase stage. So the different things that people might be doing, the things that they might be thinking about, what does success look like for them at this stage, what keywords have they got, and what FAQs do they have. Now, these are going to be really helpful for any kind of inbox management, because these are the types of questions that generically might be asked of this business, even if they're not product specific. So in terms of creating a process for replying and looking at like which kinds of questions you're getting regularly and things like that, this is going to be a really good way to get some ideas as you're thinking through the creation of templates. Now, if we go to retention and hit generate all, retention is where people are already your customers. So if you are doing community management or community engagement, this is going to, hopefully, we'll see, because normally I demo the awareness and interest stages because I talk about the customer journey through the lens of using it for coming up with blog content. So retention, what does retention look like? If you're a community manager, this one is going to be really helpful. So what are they doing? They're sharing positive reviews, they're referring other small business owners, they're participating in online discussions and forums, they are engaging with your brand's social media posts, commenting, liking, and sharing content with their network, attending your webinars or workshops, contributing guest blogs or articles to your website showcasing their expertise and promoting your brand simultaneously. So we've got some different ideas here for things that once people are customers and they're in our audience, what might they be able to do? How might they be able to be involved? What are the things that they're thinking? So this course resource tool has helped me improve my marketing strategies and I want to continue learning and growing with it. I've seen tangible results from using the techniques and strategies I learned from this brand, so I want to continue implementing them in my business. The customer support and assistance I received during my initial purchase was excellent, and I trust it will continue to be just as great in the future. I appreciate the regular updates and new content that this brand provides. I've built a positive relationship with this brand and feel a sense of loyalty towards them, so I want to continue supporting them by repurchasing. I've recommended this brand to other small business owners. You kind of get the gist, right? I'm spending a bit more time on this because we haven't looked at it as much before. But when you're doing community management, the key thing that community managers are contributing to the business is customer success and helping people to feel like they have had a successful experience with the business. So what are the feelings that we want to, get have people experiencing and feeling at this stage of the customer journey? They're all positive ones. What does success look like? So this is a good one, because it's like, what are some of the potentially measurable points where we can identify this has happened for this person, and therefore we can say this has been a successful interactions person has achieved customer success. Increased engagement and interaction with the brand's content, positive feedback and testimonials from satisfied customers, active participation in community discussions and forums, referrals and recommendations to other business owners, continued learning and utilization of the brand's resources and tools, proactive adoption of new marketing strategies and technologies, because they're going to be so confident marketing when they've done my courses, willingness to invest in advanced courses and services as well, demonstrated success and growth in their own business. So then there's some keyword suggestions, again, that once you've reached the retention stage of the customer journey, what are the kinds of things that people might be looking to do? And they're going to be looking at more advanced things, refining things, optimizing and improving things. They've already got results, so how are they potentially going to want to continue to get more of the same results or more advanced results in the same area? FAQs as well, really great for just making sure that you've provided that sort of ongoing support. So when you're focused on community management, doing anything customer facing in that way, understanding who the customers are, what they're doing, is a really core part of that. So if you are working with a business over time, Lucy and Ali both know me really well, and Rachel, actually, like all three of them know me really well. So part of the reason that they are on my team is because they know me as well, and I feel confident that they can help people in the way that I would want to help people. But when you are first coming into a business, if you don't already have an existing relationship with the person, knowing their customer becomes more difficult. But like Rachel and Ali both, Lucy wasn't. Lucy, I actually emailed Lucy when I first went full time and said, do you need a marketing VA or do you need a VA? I can't remember. I actually think I did some of her bookkeeping for her like years ago, but Lucy will remember that better than I will. But both Rachel and Ali have done my courses, and they know how I operate my business and how I talk and all of that kind of thing. And like we've gone on to be friends and everything from that. But they already know enough about my business that coming into it and providing support, and for Rachel on the development side of things, coming into it wasn't a surprise. There wasn't like it wasn't like culture shock, need to figure this out. It was like a relatively straightforward thing. But if you're working with people that you don't necessarily know, understanding who their customers are is a really core part of how you can get hit the ground running quickly. And so customer journey maps are really good, because they give you a bit of insight into the mind of your customer's ideal customer. And so then when you're doing things like community management and creating any kind of content, really, it's done from a place of understanding, and you have been able to build up some contextual understanding and some empathy for the audience based on different insights. And some things you're not going to use all of them, but again, it's enough that you can understand the journey that people are on, and like where your client's business helps in that as well. So anytime you're going in someone's business, the best thing that you can do to support them is to really be able to understand how they're supporting their audience, because then the way that you communicate and the way that you provide support and the way that you action your to-do items is very informed by the ultimate success of their customer, which then ultimately makes their business successful. So community management and then content repurposing, right? We've talked about this already, so I'm not going to dwell on it because it's also coming up to the hour mark. But when it comes to any kind of content creation, being able to repurpose what your clients have been talking about elsewhere into usable marketing assets and materials is a really handy thing to be able to do quickly. And that is where tools like the content repurposing tool come in. I've demoed this so many times this week because it's low-key my favorite bit. But being able to like repurpose content, being able to use doing the sort of transcript repurposing as well, if we are to look at the kinds of things that you can do, creating summaries, extracting quotes for social media posts, getting different ideas and analyzing different patterns in the data to look at opportunities for developing things out further if you're doing launch management and strategy, training materials, creating lead magnets from existing transcripts. You can, create a cheat sheet, right? Design it in Canva, boom, you've got a really cool resource that your client can use in emails and as part of the a value add for the community. So it just allows you to be quite proactive in the way that you approach supporting a client, and ultimately your client will delegate things to you that they know that they need, but there are some things that are going to be a helpful extra that your client might not necessarily have even thought to ask of. And so by using marketing magic, you can over deliver without compromising your time and your energy, because you are able to pull things together from multiple places, but as part of the same workflow. So it's not going to take you an extra 4 hours to create a lead magnet out of a transcript, because you're already repurposing content. It's already there. And it's the case of, it might take you, 5 minutes extra, but actually you've saved a load of time as well. So you're able to provide a sort of higher quality deliverables and see the needs that your client might have that they haven't thought about yet, and kind of proactively observe different things that would be a helpful or beneficial use of that. Now, you obviously need to have a relationship with your client where they trust you enough for that and understand that that is something that is helpful, and having that conversation with them about it. But even if it just comes to, giving an example of other things that can be done with the resources, if they give you a task and you're able to do it and say, by the way, I had an extra, 10, 15 minutes and I just wanted to run this by you as something that I wondered if this would be helpful to be able to do this for future transcript repurposing or future emails, because it's, it takes this long to do and it's already part of the workflow. So if it would be an extra asset or something that would be valuable for customers, then is this something that you'd be happy to add into the next time we do this? So just to kind of give you a sense of how you would approach that, because you can be, take the initiative, suggest things, provide them with the outcome, because they also might not necessarily have thought, they might not be able to conceptualize exactly what you mean by that, or they might think it's going to take loads of time. So taking the initiative to do little things like that and kind of demonstrate, here's what we can do because my workflow is really well optimized. So is this kind of thing helpful? Is this something that would be beneficial to build into our processes? And they might say, not quite, but can you do it this way? And so that's kind of what I mean about the idea that you're not going to do yourself out of a job by starting to integrate automation into your workflows. So if you do not yet have the Marketing Magic commercial license, then you can find all the information on the commercial tab once you have your account. And there is just a bit more information here and the exclusive lifetime offer. So for this one, this is for people who are already lifetime license holders. So the price may look different for you depending on whether you already have your Marketing Magic lifetime license or not. But this page will give you all of the information that you need about it. And it is basically the amount of money that you are spending on this is normally, this commercial license for 10 clients is normally $1,800 a year. So you are saving a whole load of money by getting a lifetime license. And I only realized that after we had already set the price and I was in the middle of the webinar on Monday, and I said to Lucy, I think I was like, does it sound like we're trying too hard now to like get the sales because we chose the price without thinking about the fact that it's literally like in 6 months time you've made your money back? But we're just like, oh, that's, you know, the price of it. So we just hadn't really thought about the implication there, but it is a real bargain. So if you want to access that, the commercial lifetime license is going to be on sale for 1 more week. And then after that, it will only be available as a monthly or annual subscription, but you will not be able to do a lifetime license. So once you've got it set up, you can, you know, use it for your client projects. You can use it to grow your business. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier, and it is going to give you the edge when it comes to positioning yourself with clients, because you're able to deliver more than you might otherwise have been able to, but probably in less time. You're able to you know, position your productivity and efficiency in a way that ultimately a lot of business owners are still very focused on that. And so bringing your use of AI in as a value add and saying like, this is, I'm committed to efficiency and to serving your business in the most, you know, valuable, high quality, and just, you know, ultimately the quality really is what I'm getting at, is but being able to do that in a way that is efficient without burning yourself out as well, that's the thing, that's the key. So I'm really bad at selling, and I was talking to Andrew about this because he was like, you haven't like sold this, you've just talked about the fact that it's for sale. And I was like, yeah. And Lucy was like, you haven't actually sent an email that is just about the commercial license, you've just attached it to replay emails. I was like, yeah. But if you need it, you need it, and if you don't need it, then you know, you can try it out, figure it out for yourself. But maybe I should do a course on how to sell more effectively. But I just show it to people and they're like, I need it. So that's the vibe I like to bring to these calls. Can we add on more customers later? Yeah, I don't see why not. If you're getting to the point where you've got like, you know, you're regularly seeing 12 people, we're always going to look after our lifetime license holders. Yeah, exactly. It gives so much value, it sells itself. I went from being an over delivering service provider to having built a tool that just accidentally over delivers. And well, it doesn't accidentally, I do it because I like really enjoy doing it, but like it also over delivers, so people just are like that whatever way you look at it, it's valuable and worthwhile getting. So yeah, hopefully that will make sense anyway. And if you have any questions, I can't see any specific questions, but if you are you know, wanting to find out more, or you want to have a conversation, Lucy is not in the chat, but Lucy has worked as a VA since like 2015 or 2016 and was fully booked in like 6 months, and she is now a launch strategist, and she also is my right hand, like just icon in all ways. I love her. But she has worked as a VA, so she's actually really great at answering questions around how this could be used in a VA business as well. So if you have questions about it and Lucy's the one getting back to you, it's probably because she is knows a lot more about the specific business model as it can relate to VAs. So she will be able to be to give you pointers and stuff there if that is something that you have questions about. Yeah, thank you so much. And also, yeah, Ali, feel free to ask me all the questions about fun ways to use marketing magic as well. For sure. Ali is also just an absolute icon. And I actually, Ali, don't know if I've ever talked to you about what your, you know, the VA side of things before, but we'll have that conversation at some point too. But yeah, Ali is also around to point you in the right direction for all the ways in which you can use marketing magic to save you time. Basically, we're all just nerds who love making things that are fun and creative and save people time, and we're just gonna enjoy answering all your questions, so ask them if you have them. Cool. So I'm going to leave you there. I apologize for, I feel like I've been the most squirrel brained on this of all of the lives, but I've just been absolutely distracted by the noise going on at my house, and I had not anticipated that today. or I would have worked elsewhere and come to you from a silent space somewhere in London town. So thank you for bearing with me. And the replay will be linked on the replay page along with the Google document. So if you want to check that out, if that would be helpful, that's where you can find it. Thank you. Love that, Ali. Ali said we all work for an extra because we're obsessed with her and her products. Yeah, well, I I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm just going to be entertained and grateful for the love. I feel very loved. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks everyone for being here. I will see you in our next session, which is tomorrow, and I have again forgotten to check what it is before we got here, but let me see if I can see. So tomorrow is the AI powered content marketer. Tomorrow's Friday, yeah, the 22nd. Sorry, I had to double check that. And we are doing it at 3 p.m. again tomorrow. So 3 p.m. UK time, so morning if you are in the US or Canada, and afternoon or evening if you are in Europe or further afield in Asia and Australia. If it's Australia, I'm pretty sure it's nighttime, so I apologize for that. But here we are. Australia is really difficult for me to do times that are convenient for your workday. So you are unfortunately having to watch the replays for this particular series, but do ask any questions if you have them. So tomorrow will be the AI powered content marketer. I am very excited about that as well. I love content repurposing. I'll probably spend the whole time just showing you how I repurpose content and create things in Marketing Magic for tomorrow's session. But we'll be talking about that more and how you can use it for keyword research, building out strategies, building out content plans, and doing things that are strategically aligned with content marketing strategy and good practice. So I will see you soon. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And we're here if you have any questions. So I'll talk to you tomorrow on our live stream for the AI